Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we look at upcoming NFT projects to get those 5, 10, 30x gains. Also share some trading strategies on how to find these NFT projects before they really explode. Today's video, second one for the day, but I couldn't help myself to really spend some time and look at this entire space, how it's coming to the fact that NFT music is going to take over the entire music industry. Now, I've watched a bunch of videos about this, read a bunch of articles, and most of it is just touching the surface. They look at 3 Lau or DJ Lau or Blau. Well, there's so many ways to pronounce his name, but we're talking about this guy. He's everywhere, he's famous, and rightfully so. He's one of the pioneers in the space in the music industry, which took NFTs by storm. But there is so much more to it. Our job is to find which projects are going to do the best moving forward from now that can get the best returns in this entire space so we can have exposure in the right players. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to get right into it. Basically, a short list of companies that I've done some good amount of research and brought them down, which I think is very well positioned in the music NFT space and that I think is going to make some big sounds in 2022. No pun intended. Let's get into it. Starting off with none other than A16Z, one of my favorite VC firms of all time, and they out of nowhere, literally like just less than a month ago, they came out and invested in Royale. They give a small synopsis of why they invested in this company, but basically they show that it's a directly win-win situation. I mean, there's no better win-win than this. Currently, the big issue is that the media companies that creators, artists, singers, songwriters, DJs, rappers have to go to end up keeping more than 80 to 90% of all the revenue that the artists make. And they're the ones that are busting their butt day in, day out, making the music, creating the, all the beats and everything like that. So the solution is with blockchain, there's going to be ways where we can basically create a win-win situation. Is not only the artists get a lot more revenue for what they do, but the people that really invest and crowdfunds their entire career is going to be their fans. Fun fact, personally, I relate to this very heavily, even more than PFPs. There, I said it. I'm not saying that this is going to be bigger than PFPs. It's going to be bigger than Bored Ape Yacht Club and all that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is that I related to it as soon as I saw this angle, because I grew up with a lot of musicians. Out of my 5, 6 close friends when I was in high school, 3 or 4 of them was musicians. And after high school, they tried to go their career trying to make music and a living, and it was very hard. Most of them gave up 3, 4, 5 years later, and it's just got a normal job and etc. and went on about their life. So when I saw this angle, I'm like, this completely makes sense, right? Not only does the creator, the artists get what they deserve, but also the people who really vouch for them from the very beginning get a say and get appreciation and value for their support being early. Like, that's what the artists needed the most. If you don't relate to this yet, I'll ask you a question. Did you ever have friends in high school where you would be showing them a song and then you'd want to take credit for it? Later on, you'd let them know that, hey, remember, I was the first one who showed you this artist. If you were, then this is exactly what this is. It's basically you having that right to kind of flex and be like, oh yeah, I really supported this album from the very beginning. It's proven in the blockchain. And not only do you get to say that and feel cool about it because you like that vibe, that style, that music from the very beginning, but now you even get to invest and it becomes an appreciation of your portfolio because you supported that artist from the very beginning. It's literally a match made in heaven. So let's go into which companies are very well positioned for this space. Now, talking about A16Z, Royal, out of everything that I've seen, this cannot be ignored. It's not only because it's 3 Lau and he's, happens to be the most famous right now in the music space and all that kind of stuff. It's because the backers and the people that are behind it is actually well driven, right? Lau is not just a music artist, right? He's pretty good in the whole entrepreneurship. He's partnering up with a top level entrepreneur to start this company, right? So he has the clout, the first mover advantage, and then also partnering up with a very good entrepreneur who has a lot of experience and a serial entrepreneur, and now he's getting backed by one of the best VCs out there, right? So it's pretty much doesn't get better than this. And if you look at their investors, I mean, they have a whole bunch. Like, it's like a list of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 investors, right? Now, it's not a quantity thing, but there's a lot of people backing it. Coinbase Ventures, A16Z, these people, again, what do VCs know that we don't know? They know the people. They interview the people. They talk to the people. They communicate with the team weekly. They have meetings with the team. They look at their problems. They see how they're working. Based on that, they can really gauge their money and their investment and their thesis and their confidence. And when we see their name on here, it really does put a stamp of approval on this company's name. So that's Royal. Company number 2, Mycelia. This is a company out of London, and they are going for the same vision, but a little bit different approach they are taking. Basically, what they're doing is they have multiple applications that they're really using to go for this entire angle. Unlike Royal, that is making it kind of fully on-chain, meaning, hey, there's the artist, they create an NFT, the fans buy the NFT. When the fans support and the artist grows, the fans appreciate and the artist wins at the same time. It's very like simple, straightforward. There it is, go. But with Mycelia, what they're kind of doing is taking the traditional system a little bit and keeping some of those roots, meaning they're going to have IDs, acknowledgements, works, business partners, payment mechanisms. So it's like, this is the DJ, this is the media company, this is the middle guy, this is the promoter, whatever how it currently works, but it's going to be all on chain and it's going to be set up properly so nobody can change any rules later on. And basically it makes it a little bit more transparent, and the team is pretty cool. It's a woman-led company, and they do have some pretty good updates of other people that have been using it. I read an article where some artists have actually already launched successful products in the blockchain, and they're getting good success out of it. Company number 3 is Blokur. Okay, this is also out of Europe, and basically what they're doing is actually a little bit different vision completely than the other two that we looked at so far. Instead of just making it where it's about the way that the value occurs, they're also going for how it is actually monitored. Company number 3 is Blokur, and they are also out of Europe, and basically what they do is a little bit different than the other two companies so far, and they actually solve an issue that I kind of looked over, and I think a lot of people do when we're looking at this space, right? Currently, anybody can take your music and put it into any blockchain and claim it their own. If you don't have a lot of fame, if you are not looking at the space monitoring your music in all the blockchains, somebody can just take it and start getting credit and maybe get some coins or however it's getting distributed for your work. So what this is doing is basically they'll have usage rights, and so basically what Blokur does is take different rights and data about who you are, the artist, the music and everything, and put it into one database. Then users can come and unanimously basically choose which one is correct and which one fits together. And basically what this is going to do is have a central place where you could say, this is the artist for this is who they are, this is what their songs are, this is what their albums are and everything, and it's very coded in the blockchain, so that if it conflicts with other platforms, there will be a discrepancy that will basically be a red flag. So the way I see Blokur would be, if they're successful, it's going to be something that other platforms like Audius, Royal, and everything like that could use. Oh, and by the way, I left out Audius intentionally because it's been covered heavily, and I just wanted to put that aside and really look at other platforms that have yet the growth left. Audius market cap is already pretty big, and I'm really looking to get into some projects that are sub 100 million if possible, so we can really ride it to the billions it should be. Company number 4 is Bitsong, and I actually like this one because they are the first decentralized music streaming company in the world, and they call themselves Bitsong. I wonder where they got the name from, the first decentralized. Anyways, what they do is pretty interesting, because when an artist uploads a song, what they allow is to put an advertisement with that song. And each time the advertisement is listened to, the artist and the fan will get up to 90% of the proceeds, which is extremely interesting because this is exactly basically YouTube's model, right? YouTube currently has, hey, make videos for free, and when advertisers come and run ads on your channel, 50% YouTube will take, 50% will be given to the creator. Whereas this time it's basically 90% going to the creator and the artist, and I guess 10% is kept by the platform. Going into CoinMarketCap, they actually have a token, and this is just what I was saying a little bit ago, that this is a pretty small market cap company, just $30 million, and this is fully diluted. I don't even know their current market cap because it's not even shown here. So it's so far this year looks like it hasn't done that well. It went to 6 cents. Right now it's like 28. I mean, not bad, but it hasn't really done like that well, unless you bought it currently for the last right here when it became worthless for 3-4 days. I'm just kidding. That's probably just exchange issue or something like that. But they have this coming soon, the first decentralized exchange for music fan token, which is very interesting, right? Like, so right away, they're going for the complete decentralization. You'll be able to buy and sell and basically trade music, NFTs and albums and everything like that as a whole. They're coming up with their own music NFT marketplace. I sell, collect music, NFTs, tickets, right? They're making it easy for the creators to really give those exclusive type incentives you can really give in blockchain world, right? Like, if you hold this NFT for my first album, you'll get ticket to my shows for this much time, etc., etc. You'll be able to trade it. This is something that a lot of the whole NFT space in a whole investors are looking for and waiting for, when that time is going to come, that it's going to become from illiquid to liquid. And then they're also having things with merchandise, and I'm sure this category here is going to like become more and more stuff, right? It's going to be like clothing, tickets, and I mean, these are creatives we're talking about. They're going to find so many ways to like attach value. If you got this certain album on this date or whatever it may be, or my first album, 6th song, then you would have been, if you held that, you'd get it. You get to see me, you get an autograph from me, you get to get a picture with me. It can be endless, right? I'm going to mention your name in my next track if you've got my one-on-one auction, whatever like that. It can go bigger and bigger. So they're going for it all. I personally, so far, like this one, like the simplicity and everything they have, the vision they have, it like clicks with me the most thus far, the companies we've seen. It's just going to be about who is behind this project, who is backing this up, who is basically going to make this stuff happen and come true. And that's going to take some further research. Carrying on, let's go to Music Coin. One, they're backed by Animoca Brands. And I'm not just saying that to show that they're really great, because again, remember, Animoca Brands like basically invested in 50% of all companies out there this year. They basically went LimeWire 2.0 on steroids with blockchain. It's free streaming, close to 100% of the revenue goes to the creator, and that is it. They have been doing this for some time. They're not something new. They're on CoinMarketCap, but it doesn't show up. It just shows market is untracked. I mean, it just shows up like this for some reason. But they have been in the space for a while now. If you look at their articles on Forbes and whatnot, some of this stuff is more than 2-3 years old, so they have been in the space making some headway for some time. It's going to come down to putting in some deeper time to see exactly who's behind this, what kind of entrepreneur they are, what they've done in the past, who's really backed by other than Animoca Brands, and then be able to kind of gauge this and weigh it against things like Bitsong. Coming up to the end of our list here today, guys, it's Opus and VizTech. Opus is pretty cool. Vision is very similar to many of our other projects. It's featured in a lot of posts, and they're basically going for the same kind of idea where they want to give most of the royalties to the artist and the creator at the same time. And they really have one of the best websites, probably the best website I've seen amongst these other companies so far. But other than that, it looks like their vision and everything is pretty much similar to some of the companies that we've been looking at so far. VizTech, on the other hand, again, it's very similar. I mean, it is the music space. One of the biggest issue is this, and they're all going for the biggest issue. Other than Blockcore, all of these companies are going for the main elephant in the room, which is that, hey, these creators are getting really sucker punched, and most of their money is being taken away by these producers and media and the middleman and all this kind of stuff, and they're going for those. And one thing interesting though, that they have this whole ISO, initial song offering, right? So there's ICO, IDO, initial song offering now. So it's basically goes with all of this stuff, right? And they're going to be putting together not just the creators and the fans, but also the producers. So again, they're keeping some structure from the traditional world, not kicking everybody out and making it just two-party stream system. It's just going to be also some of the people involved, some producers, maybe some other middlemen involved, but it's all on chain. But it's all from the very beginning, from the moment they release their album, they do initial song offering on their platform, and from there everything is tracked fairly and seamlessly on their chain. With that being said, hope you liked the video so far. If you did like this video, please go down below and like and subscribe. It takes a little bit of time for me to really find out these companies and put them in a list like this. The next step, guys, and this is the really big step, what we need to do, in my opinion, is really take some time and go down deep into all the articles about each of these companies, the entrepreneurs behind it, what they have done in the past, how much effort they have put throughout the bear market. If they've been around for a while, how much effort they put throughout the bear market, giving updates, whether it be on Discord or their blog or their Telegram or their Twitter profile, so you can see the relentlessness of their willpower, and also then the people who are backing behind it. And lastly, other investors in the space that have called other projects successfully so far in the last 1, 2, 3 years, who are talking about these companies positively, right? That will be the next step to really go in deep. And if you'd like me to do that, please let me know. Right? Comment below. I'll probably do a pinned comment. If it gets like 10 likes, I'll do it. If it doesn't get those 10 likes, promise, I will not do that video. It'll take me a lot of time, and I'll probably go do some other videos that I have planned up for the next coming week. But if you want me to do it, you know what to do. That being said, thanks once again for coming and watching the video. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.